How to Write Your Personal Myth into Your Memoir, Part 2, a super easy guide to writing deeper memoir. The following is the second video of a three-part series on the use of myth and archetypes in memoir writing. In the first part of How to Write Your Personal Myth into Your Memoir, a super easy guide to writing deeper memoir, I spoke about both archetypal patterns in general and about the martyr archetype in particular. In today's video, I speak about the orphan and the prince left at the pauper's door. Both frequently make appearances in a memoir. These posts are excerpted Both frequently make appearances in the memoirs I have coached and edited. These videos are excerpted from Text In, Turning Memories into Memoirs, a handbook for writing life stories. What is the orphan archetype? People who do not develop or maintain personal ties can be said to be pursuing the orphan archetype. Artists are an example of the positive side of this archetype. Because many artists feel detached from roots, family, and so forth, they are free to tell the truth as they see it, to risk much in the pursuit of their art. On the negative side, the orphan throws everything out too easily and starts again from scratch, time after time. That startup phase is exhilarating for the orphan. But the long-term effect is exhausting. While orphan artists make use of their rootlessness to create, other orphans may be oppressed by their tendency to abandon what they have accomplished before they can benefit from the results. Orphans often feel besieged by life, alone against the superior forces of the universe. In retaliation, they may react to life with cynicism and bitterness. Orphans love to tell you they are self-made and will neglect to mention any help they received along the way. The person who always tells you how he did everything for himself in life, how no one ever gave him anything, is an example of the orphan. When writing about a person who fits the orphan archetype, the life writer should certainly appreciate the struggle this person has waged. But she must also assess whether the orphan has been blind to the support available to him or the gifts life has offered him. Would a more objective account of his life story give credit elsewhere for his success, or identify his cynical, doomed-to-failure attitude as key to another one of his failures? The life writer should ask where the memoir subject found or made community, and how he overcame the orphan's pervasive sense of aloneness and abandonment. Since orphans often remake the facts to support their self-made views of themselves, writers must verify from other sources the hardship stories orphans tell. What is the prince left at the pauper's door archetype? The prince left at the pauper's door is imbued with a sense of his innate worth. They may happen to be poor at the moment, but they are princes or princesses and have a right to special, that is, royal, status in life. Princes left at the pauper's door aspire to be more and to have more than might seem reasonable to others, and they often have the strength and courage to match their struggle to achieve. An example of the prince left at the pauper's door archetype is the poor immigrant who arrives in a new country penniless and sees no reason why he should not rise, quote, from rags to riches, unquote. Another example is a poor child who aspires to a fine education despite inferior local schools and lack of family support. Of course, there is a negative side to the prince left at the pauper's door archetype also. Cinderella waits for Prince Charming to save her from the unpleasant drudgeries and responsibilities of her life. Princes left at the pauper's door may look disdainfully on the other paupers among whom they are forced to live. I'm too good for these peons, they might think. And so these people cut themselves off from participation in the community available to them. The prince left at the pauper's door may be as lonely as the orphan. Inevitably, too, the high achievers, whether disdainful of others or not, will attract the resentment of the many they leave behind. The life writer must look carefully at the princes left at the pauper's door to distinguish which parts of their struggle were necessary and inevitable to maintain their goals, and which were needlessly injurious to them and others, for instance, forsaking relationships as not good enough. In the next video, we will look at some practical applications for this knowledge of myth and archetypes as it applies to memoir writing. For now, here are some action steps. Fantasy can reveal what myths are operative for us. 1. Pick a feeling you have about your life or about someone you are writing about. Embody that feeling in a fantasy character. It can be Superman, or a TV character, or a cartoon character for that matter. Or you can simply make a name up like Big Guy or Complaining Woman. Now tell a story of something that character has starred in. 2. In this exercise, let your imagination run freely. Everything is fine, everything is correct. You cannot make a mistake. 3. Reread your story. Did you learn anything interesting about yourself or about the character you are writing about in this mythic venture that you just created? If so, let that inform your memoir. In conclusion, whatever you do today, write a bit on your memoir.